sits in the cold.
So, in my synopsis, this is what I wrote. Grunge is a musical love story about family and what it means to have a second chance. This was really interesting, the song Thrift Store. So this was a moment where it needed something and I just forced myself back to the table. Thrift Shop was get to know these characters, and I gave some dialogue and Paul found rhythm in it. It was a jukebox musical at first, so it was a jukebox musical of an unknown album. I found a lot of the characters through the songs and their personality through the narrative songwriting that Paul did. I've shifted into, let's be very clear that these are contemporary songs for an album. To try not to backwards engineer too much because it gets lost. It's not moving the plot forward. And that's what forced us to the table to co-write songs, was the feedback of like, yeah, some of it works pretty good. I mean, that's pretty tight. But the way I did it more was to say how true songwriting is. You're inspired by what's happening in the moment, and you write a song based on it. Or an idea comes to you of something in the moment and writes a song. So that's sort of what happens. He tried to write and was like, but it doesn't sound like the voice of my characters. So I have to write the lyrics. So some of these songs are literally now on the album, and then the rest are more traditional musicals sung through that the song leads you through the scene. I was talking about Caitlin and her obsession with appearances and social media, and just gave a backstory that it's that her mom or her dad remarried and they had another kid. And because she was the bad one, they ended up giving more attention. So I just spit out dialogue. Caitlin's sister's name is Annabelle and she's 12. She has to get like 60,000 views for her parents to pay attention. So he'll do 60,000 views or her parents will refuse, right? That's where he got that from. Or I wrote, Caitlin can't get pissed at her parents because they'll weaponize money in some way. You know, well, you have your room because, you know, we pay for this room. Finding the only power that they feel that they have, which is that they buy food or that they pay for things. So she doesn't have anywhere to get her anger, her feelings out on. And if she's being mean to Phoebe because they were childhood friends, she's pissed and she's displacing her anger. And it feels good and cathartic. It's a generational story because what I feel like I came out of it in the long run is saying there's not knowing what to do. So they're sort of weaponizing money or mimicking things our parents had said or stuff like that. I wanted to make a point of saying we need to sit down and have the hard conversations like, why are they being mean? And not even say that we have any answers to it, but just in the process of connecting and talking about it. What bonds us isn't how comfortable we make each other feel with our nice words, but how we can fight and be really pissed. And then that makes us closer, having scary, hard conversations. When Paul and I were, collaborating, we still collaborate as very busy people who aren't artists in residency. You got the dishes, I got the groceries. You get the kid and drop them off, I'm going to go over to my mother. It's extremely transactional, so not sexy at all. So since this is our craft and our job and our work and our project, it takes the same transactional thing. Here's this piece, go. I'm not even in the room with you. Here's this piece, go. And I think Second Chance was the first one that we sort of wrote together. And I was like, oh, I think we could do this. This is really exciting. We're starting to be able to find that we do have a musical partnership. Because at first it was always like book Leyna D'Ancona, music and lyrics Paul Siegel. And so then it became the third column of lyrics by D'Ancona and Siegel. We already have everything in the kitchen sink in here in terms of the way we're doing songs. We have to now pull it all together. In a way, when I wrote my acknowledgments, I said, to friends lost and those yet to be found, to the rebels, the dreamers, and the believers. And it's saying that you can be a broken-hearted rebel, but you're still a rebel.